I just finished doing my 365 challenge that I've been doing for the past year. And I learned a lot. I got frustrated a lot. But let's talk about it. So yeah, it's finally done. The 365 challenge that I set out to do a whole year back. Now, the idea of the challenge was simple. For 365 days, every day, take a photo, edit it, and publish it on social media. I gave myself leeway to skip days where if something pressing came up, but I mean, like I said back then, that's probably to be expected. I did set 2 rules for myself. One of them was that it has to be taken that day, so I just can't just go and shoot 30 photos and be set for the next month. And the other one was that I would have 1 portrait photo and 1 product photo every week. Now, that second rule I did break, but I'm still gonna call this a success. But in the interest of not making this video too long, let's just hop into some of these points and the experiences that I had from this challenge. I do have a long list though, so if this is a long video, I mean, you would know, you can see it. I'm sorry, but I've got a lot to say because I learned so much. So what was the point of doing this challenge? Well, there were simply 2 goals. One was that I wanted to get better at photography. When you're making a composition every day and you're shooting every day, you're picking up the camera every single day, you're bound to get better with it. And the second part of that was that I wanted to see if I like photography as much as I think I did, as much as I thought I did. What that means, how that was to be tested with this, is the fact that if you do something every day for a year, you're basically gonna be forcing yourself on some days. That's a guarantee. But the question really is whether after that year, you still like the thing as much as you did when you started. So that's what I set out to do. I wanted answers. I wanted those 2 goals to be achieved in whatever way they would be achieved or fulfilled. Now, for the first few months, the process was pretty simple. I had a lot to shoot and I was ready to shoot it. And just in the first few months, the improvements are very clear because you can see that my shooting style is getting better. My handling of my camera settings are getting better, and just in the edit itself, just the look is getting better. The editing is getting better. That first few months, it was really clear and really tangible. I was using my gear, lighting, composition, everything, props. I was learning so fast. And that's not due to some sort of I'm a fast learner. That's due to the fact that if you're doing something every day, you're gonna be learning quite quickly. And for those first few months, up until like Christmas, I actually stuck to both of my rules. So I kept up with having at least 1 product photo and 1 portrait photo every week. Now in Christmas, it was a difficult time because we had a long period where we were between apartments. We were moving from one to another, but there was a 2-week gap between those apartments, so we were staying at my parents', and during that time I didn't have access to my computer. I couldn't edit the way I wanted to, so I was forced to use my tablet, which works in a pinch, but I would say that I wasn't ready to edit with the limited control that the editing apps offer. In a way, that is a testament to one's photography skills, since if the photos that you're shooting require a lot of editing to be good, I mean, that says a lot about you as a photographer. But getting over that and starting the new year in a new apartment, in a new studio with better, like a better space, better gear, better stuff, I ran into the other kinds of difficulties. There were many days where I didn't have the motivation or I was just really tired and I really didn't want to do it. There were days where I just forgot, in all honesty, and I remembered it just as I was going to bed. And if you're really tired and you're just about to go to bed, I can pretty safely say that no one at that point wants to pick up a camera and start making a setup for a good photo. Regardless, I had to do it. I just had to. This was a challenge that I was on, and it was something that I required of myself. After a lot of time, there was another big problem that did arise, which was the fact that I had shot most of the stuff that I own that would look good on a photo. So there were no more bottles or curious items or anything like that to shoot. Of course, I could go out and buy them, but if you remember that you're supposed to take a photo at 2 a.m., there's not a lot of stores that are going to be open. So you really had to get creative. I really had to get creative with what I was shooting. For the most part, I think it worked well, but there were days when it really didn't come to me. And sometimes when it really didn't come to me, the photo would look like this. Yeah. Not great. That is, out of all of the 365 photos, that one still haunts me. Because I made a promise to myself, forced myself to keep it up on those social media channels because I wanted all of the 365 photos to be up at the same time at the end of this challenge. Just if anyone's curious enough to go back and look at all of the photos that I took. In the second half of this challenge, the improvement in actual, like the technical side of shooting started to get pretty minimal. And something else that took its place was the improvement in, well, editing, but as well as starting to find my own style of shooting and my own style of editing. And as a photographer, that is very crucial. You're supposed to be bringing into the game what you have, what is unique to you. But on top of all of those other improvements, there were a lot of unexpected improvements as well. It got to a point where I could come up with a concept for a photo, do the whole setup, take the shot, and have it on my computer all in under 15 minutes. Sure, it's not the best that it could be, or it could have been better if I used more time, but just getting a pretty usable image in 15 minutes from the conception part, that was really helpful and that was really surprising. Another really important part of improvement in the process was the fact that I developed a feeling for when I got the shot that I was looking for. Before I even saw it on the display, way before I opened it up on the computer, as soon as you hit the shutter, you would just feel it. Like, that was the one. I got it. That's the one. I know, I can see it in my mind how I'm going to edit this, and this is the one. I don't need to take any more. And that really is another time saver, as well as just really makes you feel like you know what you're doing, doesn't it? After all this with the challenge, like I said, I set out to answer pretty much 2 questions. So number 1, did I get better at photography? Yes. So much yes. Absolutely. The difference between the first photo and the last photo might as well been taken by a completely different photographer. And the second question, do I still love photography after all of this? Yes. Absolutely. Possibly even more than when I started, which is a great relief because I'm the kind of person who gets excited about something and then spends a lot of time with it, and after maybe 3 months, 4 months, might get bored with it and then just leave it. So I was a little worried that photography might be one of those things, but now I have that worry is gone. I know that photography is something that I love, and I know that this is something that I want to do as a career. And I'm doing it as a career already, but you know, just confirming what I hoped would be the case. I think the best way to summarize my idea of this challenge is, am I thankful that I did it? Definitely. But I'm also grateful that it's over. So would I do it again? Yes. Would I do it a second time? No. Because I feel like I got everything out of it the first time. And doing it a second time wouldn't really be that beneficial. Now, with that being said, would I recommend it for other people? Well, if you're wondering about the same kind of stuff that I was, like I explained at the start of this video, then definitely. And if you want to get better at photography, definitely. Because there are so many other benefits than the simple answer to those questions. Because you learn a lot about yourself when doing a long time frame challenge like this. Just in terms of how you approach a challenge and how just generally good are you at keeping up with something that you've set out to do. There are values in something like this way beyond what the challenge itself is trying to accomplish. So that's why I would recommend doing this kind of challenges for anyone. Doesn't have to be photography, just anything that you feel like you love. If you want to know if you truly love it, do something like this. But for me, after this whole year-long challenge, I want to do more. I want to do more of these kind of challenges because it really dawned on me on how useful something like this can be. Possibly not year-long challenges though. I think this was enough, at least for a while. But maybe like 30-day challenges or something like that. I mean, if you have any ideas on what sort of challenge I should do, you can suggest it in the comments, but I'm gonna be very picky about what I do next. But in terms of all the photos that I took, they will be up on my social media channels. So that would be my Instagram over here and my Vero over here. You can go there, you can have a look at them. They're gonna be there for a week. Just a week, and after that I'm going to go and curate the worst ones out of there. So I don't know how many that's gonna be. At least that one photo that I showed you, that's gonna be gone. But for the other ones, I'm gonna have to go through it more carefully. Of course, I'm not gonna delete the first ones because that just shows you the progress, but there are some like really bad ones that I'm gonna be taking away. Those are not good advertisement for me. Also, as you're watching this video, the name of the channel should now be changed. So once again, hello, my name is Villerasku. Thank you for tuning into this video and my channel in total. That's all I have to say about this. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. I will be happy to answer them. And just have a great rest of your week. I will catch you all in the next one. Have a good time. I'm just gonna go not take a photo right now. Okay? Yeah. Bye.